Hi everyone, I am the Sarcastic Sloth, and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be discussing a topic which I for one find pretty infuriating, quite frankly. Not that most of the subjects that I cover aren't already infuriating enough, because it's a situation that could have been avoided. It's a situation where if these people had a bit more mental fortitude about themselves over the course of the years, this could have all been avoided. And also it shows me personally that these people have nothing but contempt for their audience. Now I am talking about Nikki and Dan Phillippi. If you don't know who they are, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. I don't frankly care, because these people don't deserve my time or my energy in that particular aspect of things. I'm doing this video because they have put down their dog of 9 years, Bowser, because if you want my opinion, he became too much of an inconvenience for them. We're going to be looking at some clips from the video discussing exactly why they put their dog down, and I think you'll see exactly why I'm so annoyed. So without further ado, let's crack on. So as per usual, everything I'm going to be discussing today are my own thoughts and opinions on the topic, and if you do not like that, ta-ra! So a quick recap, Nikki and Dan are a family channel they have been doing for some time, and they are rather popular in the millions of subscribers. Now, Bowser was originally Dan's dog, and then obviously once they got together, it became their dog. But a couple of days ago, they released this video saying we have some really sad news. Now, if that's the name of the video, my only thing would be tell your faces, because I didn't quite frankly get that. Now, the reason why this is causing such a stir is because it seemed like quite a needless thing to a lot of people. Like I said, we're going to go through the clips, and I think you'll be able to surmise as to why. I'll put a link down below for the full video if you really want to rage yourself.
Hi guys, I feel awkward just like opening this video. There is no cheery way to open this video.
Sad, devastated, gutted, heartbroken. These are words that I probably would use to open up a video in which I'm telling my audience that I've had to put my dog down. Awkward would not be the one, if I'm being quite honest. I certainly wouldn't start with the whole YouTuber, "Hi guys, how's it going? Smash like now and I'll tell you how I killed my dog." Ridiculous. You could make the argument that people deal with things differently. However, I think as you'll see as we're going along here, this is something that is sort of reoccurring with her, and it just doesn't come across very genuine, if I'm being quite frank.
Now, you already know, I mean, by the title, well, no, you don't know by the title, but you know if you follow us on Instagram. That,
again, is very weird to me, that she's saying, you will know going by the title, and then she stops herself, because I'm guessing that she's decided that they're not going to put, "We've put our dog down" in the title. They've gone with the actual title, which is, "We have some really sad news." I find it kind of hard when someone plans out a video like this with that kind of detail. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, if I was going to do a video saying that my dog had died, which, you know, my audience has gotten somewhat attached to, I certainly wouldn't like make a whole plan about it. I'd probably just do the video and post it. I wouldn't be like, okay, well, here's what we're going to do for the title, and we'll post it on this day. It seems a bit too like weird and planned out. Again, that could be me. I just found that kind of funky, if I'm being quite honest with you.
We had to put Bowser to sleep. Man, it's so awkward saying the words. I feel like I don't even know how to quite say it.
Again, awkward wouldn't be the word that I used. Like, so for instance, I had a dog who was 14 years old, and she had to be put down because she had genuinely gotten to that point in her life where the arthritis had built up in her legs, where it was genuinely hard for her to walk. She had naturally gotten to that point where the body was breaking down and she was not able to carry on with the same quality of life. I was devastated, man. I was devastated to the point where when I went into work, everyone knew that there was something not right with me. It wasn't like a case of like, oh, this is a bit awkward. I was like, this is hurting my heart, and I'm just like absolutely devastated. Not, oh, is this a bit awkward? Is this orcs? I feel like this is orcs, you know. Hey, it's a bit awkward talking about how we like put our dog to death.
You know, Dan is with me because Bowser was, I mean, he was our dog, but he was Dan's dog.
The reason I included that clip is because I sort of felt it was a little bit telling, because like when she was like, he was our dog, but he was his dog. And you might be watching this right now going, bloody hell, he's jumping on them pretty quickly. Don't forget, I've watched the whole thing. You're going to see why I'm so annoyed, because there are a lot of contradictions in this. There's even more so if you watch the entire video.
Yeah, that's the position that we're in today. So I feel like, I don't know, do you want to say hi? I feel like I'm just like talking.
There's something about her I can't quite put my finger on, but I just don't think... I think she's more concerned with what the audience thinks about this than the actual event itself. That's why she's trying to be like all like, hey, how's it going? Oh, it's a little bit awkward, isn't it? You know? And I feel like because Bowser was originally his dog, that he's feeling this more. He does say some very questionable things as we go along here, but in terms of like who's feeling more emotion towards this actual event, I do feel it is him. It would make sense because it was originally his dog and then it became their dog. But with her, I just get the feeling, man, that she just don't give a single solitary hoot that that dog is not around anymore, to be honest with you. Again, you're going to see more as to why I think that is the case.
Well, and Bowser was attacked when he was a puppy, and we never really talked about that very much, but that was like that was a big turning point in Bowser's personality. So prior to the attack, Bowser could go to dog parks. Bowser was just calmer in general. And then after the attack, it just triggered something in him, and he was attacked by another bull terrier, actually my parents' old bull terrier. But it's something that can happen with the breed, and so ever since then things really took a turn.
Now this is a very interesting part for me because there's a lot of things to dissect. So first of all, she says how Bowser was completely fine before this event where her parents' bull terrier attacked Bowser, and Bowser was never the same after this. She chalks that up to being part of the nature of the breed. Well, I'm gonna have to refute that somewhat. You just stated that all of this changed after he had a traumatic event. He got attacked by another dog, and when he was very young. They do this hopping around of, yeah, he's the sweetest, kindest dog in the whole wide world, but then it's just down to his nature and we were terrified all of the time, but he was our little clown. You never knew when he was going to strike next and rip someone's face off. This is why I chalk this up to more that Bowser was more of an inconvenience to them than anything else, so they're just sort of trying to pick anything to make it stick.
You know, we could have put Bowser down a really, really long time ago. And several times, and I've just been putting the day off.
Because you don't want to make that decision. That's the thing.
Yes,
when you love an animal, you don't want to make that decision.
Yes, he's seriously injured a couple different dogs, including Zoe, who's standing right here. I've had her stitched up a couple times.
This says more to me about your abilities as an owner than it does about the dog, if I'm being quite frank. This is the thing, this is something that he keeps bringing up. It's like, our first thought was to like, put the dog down multiple times, but we didn't. Oh, but we didn't, so, you know, we're good owners, we're good, kind owners, because we thought about offing our dog a bunch of times, but we didn't actually go through with it until the very last time. Until he was, in their words, too old.
As you guys know, we're getting ready to move, and we haven't said where, so if you're like, where are you moving? It's because we haven't said it yet. But, you know, we weren't sure what was going to happen with Bowser, because every time we move with Bowser, it is hard because he's special needs, like he said. So there's a lot that goes into transporting Bowser and even picking a new home for Bowser. Like, there's a lot to consider in that. And so it was really like, it was weird to have him attack Logan, you know, right before we're going to different places to possibly look to move. And this was not what we expected. So the way that this unfolded and what he mentioned about the comment, waiting for the next bite, we actually attempted to rehome Bowser because, like we said, we know that, I mean, he's our little, like, clown. He was our clown angel. Like, I don't, it's, sorry if I'm awkward, it's just finding the words are really awkward because it's, you know, emotional. So
we sort of get to the crux of the issue here, really. It's more down to the fact that Bowser's a burden because we want to move, and every time we move, then it's a big, you know, so ridiculous. With any dog, it's like this anyway, but with Bowser in particular, they're making this issue as though like it's almost like impossible to do so. It feels to me like Bowser was in the way, and they wanted a bit more of an easier life, and Bowser presented problems towards that. It is kind of funny as well how like she's pointing out like, oh, he's special needs. So that's a whole thing in itself. So it's like, well, if a dog's special needs in her mind, then it's too much of a hassle, then we can't move, so then we should probably put it down. That's kind of weird. And let's go back to the point of, your parents' dog were the one that put him in that state in the first place, and then you were also trying to blame it on the breed. So which is it? Which one of like these many excuses that you keep throwing out there, but then also retracting at points, is it? This is the thing with these people, man. I feel like they have such contempt for their audience. They think they're so stupid that they're just going to believe all of this waffle. Like, oh well, Bowser's in a better place now. He had special needs and it was a burden on the family, so how about we just get rid? As opposed to, this was a reoccurring issue from many years ago, then why were they not able to see that they aren't the people? You're not the people for that dog, man. Straight up.
And in the moment, I'm thinking, I grew up with the movie Old Yeller, and I wanted to pick Bowser up by the back of the neck and take him into the backyard and put him down right there.
This to me is a chilling and telling aspect of the conversation that they're having, which is, in his mind, every time something goes wrong with the dog, it jumps to, let's put the dog down. Even to the point where he wanted to grab Bowser by the scruff of his neck and end his life in the garden. These people should not have animals, man. If that's his first thought to everything that goes wrong, every particular instance that crops up, is to put the dog down, then you shouldn't have animals. This is why sometimes I think it would probably be for the best if you had to like take some kind of like licensing test to have pets, because people like this don't deserve it. If it's like there's something psychologically wrong there. If everything that crops up over the years is your first resort is to ending the dog's life because what? Like, it was too hard for you to actually do anything about it?
Just a few things that happened and we just cancelled it. And
it's like she has to keep reminding herself that she's supposed to be sad. It's quite interesting, right? So throughout the course of this video, she does a lot of those little instances where she starts, it's like a genuine smile. It's not like a oh, I'm remembering and reminiscing smile. It's like, it's almost like she's just, this is just another YouTube video to her. These people are weird, man.
You sounded like you were gonna say something. No.
It was just the worst day.
It was the worst day. It was amazing because, everything comes to an end. And if you're gonna if you have to have an end, which everything does, it was a beautiful, perfect ending in our living room, in our arms, calm. He only had one moment of tension, which is when he first, used the needle on him. He freaked out a little bit, but then he calmed right down, and we were able to hug him and kiss him and hold him and thank him, and that was a lot of like my time. So your time with Bowser was a lot of like fun things, feeding him and driving him around and hugging him and playing with him. My time with Bowser, I just spent time hugging him, and it was kind of a combination of like telling him how I felt and how grateful I was to him for all those years, combined with kind of like prayer to God and thanking God, for giving us this time with him. You already know how I feel. Like, I think everything is created by God. I think that creation is so beautiful, and Bowser was so unique and special and perfect for our family.
Oh, he was so unique and special and perfect for our family, but not at the same time, so that's why we had him euthanized. She is full of contradictions. This whole video is a ton of contradictions. It sounded to me like her best days with him were when he was about to get euthanized and the days that he did actually get euthanized. It's kind of strange to me that she's romanticized this last day so much. I don't know, man. If I was her in particular, I'd be fully ashamed. And the fact that I would also feel like an element of guilt that it was my parents' dog that made Bowser the way that he was, that change that they referenced before. I'd feel some kind of guilt, and I wouldn't be like, just, okay, well, let's put him down every time something goes wrong. It's weird, man. These people are weird. Her, I feel like she's a terrible actress, and she's trying her best to sort of seem sad about this, but she can't do it. So this is why she always goes to the prop that is the cup. Like, she's clutching onto that cup so much, and like drinking it all the time. I don't know, it's just everything about this smells off, man. Totally off.
And you know, we didn't have kids for what, how many years of our marriage? 11, 12 years of our marriage. So Bowser really was like, he was our kid in our kidless years. We had a large chapter with him, and we're just so grateful to God for allowing us to have him and love him and hold him and care for him, and for making us feel safe and protected, and all the laughter. And
again, contradictions. Yeah, he made us feel safe and protected, but half the time we were wondering when he was going to kick off, and we were wondering when he was going to snap. And you can't have it both ways. And I like the fact that she keeps throwing in God into all of this. I'm not gonna lie, it's sort of like a little thing that she chucks in at the end so that people will like feel like that all things happen for a reason. This doesn't happen for any other reason apart from Bowser became an inconvenience to you. That is the reason. Know that and trust that, because that is the case.
Bowser he was the best animal I ever owned.
It's the best animal I ever owned, but over the years I wanted to have him euthanized multiple times. Because what? Like, you couldn't be bothered to go the extra mile to try and like help him with these behavioural patterns that seem to have been ingrained as a result of your girlfriend or wife's parents' dog attacking him. As you can probably tell, I'm not impressed by this video whatsoever. I feel like Bowser was basically an inconvenience to them both, and they felt that it was easier for them, not for Bowser, no matter what they try and make you think in that video. They feel like it was easier for them to just euthanize him so they can move on, and then they're trying to con their audience into believing that Bowser was perfect for their family, but just not perfect enough, so that's why they had to end his life. That's my opinion on this. I've had enough, quite frankly, of YouTubers sort of using animals for views, and then when they cease to be useful to them or become a bit of a hassle in their eyes, then they decide to get rid of said animals because they're lazy. They're lazy, narcissistic, and they just can't be bothered to do right by that animal. They've just done wrong by that dog at every single turn, in my opinion. It doesn't matter how airy-fairy and lovely it was at the end, and what a great day they had, because at the end of the day, Bowser's not here, and that's the end of that, really. So what do you think? Do you think, like me, that this video is just a pile of shite? Do you think I'm being a bit harsh? I would refute that if you do, but whatever, dude. Let me know in the comments, like I said. If you like the video and you like the channel, then like and subscribe. Click the bell for the notifications as well, that would be much appreciated. YouTube seems to be a bit funky with the notifications as of late, but as always, stay safe out there.